Hi, everybody. Everybody's doing well. Beautiful day here in Vegas. Hope it is where you are. Let's see, we got latest message. I already started part of the following message, the next subsequent message as well. When that gets done, I'll post that. This is my number 1407 from April 20th, 24th, and 27th of 2023. And as always, it's multi-topical. I don't think any of it's specifically for me. I think it's generally for everybody. Love eternal, eternal in love. Purest form comes from above, of course. Eternal love comes from God. God's love is pure, unconditional love. Comes in purest form, comes only from Him. Whether 'tis man or 'tis woman, one or the other, both are human. One to another in love of the heart, one with the Father, of the Father, never apart, or never are apart. This feeling I was getting to this, I know I put forth out there in the ether uh, exactly what his feelings are about all this transgender stuff, and I don't know if it's just as the lesbianism or gay, homosexual, or just the transgender aspect of it. I'm not sure, but that was a sense that came into my mind as I was receiving this. That they were make this point. Now, how you want to take it is up to you. So this is how I took it. That irregardless, whether it is man or woman, in their heart, body, mind, whatever, one or the other, both are human. And as such, part of God's creation, and He loves them. Plain and simple. Again, everything God, through Spirit, is very succinct, to the point, exact, no gray area. Uh, one to another, in love of the heart, one with the Father, or the Father never are apart. Was one to another, their pure unconditional love for each other in their hearts. Then that comes from the Father, then they are one with the Father, and of the Father are never apart. That's the interpretation, the sense I got when I was receiving these words through me. And it's like when they come through me, the feeling they give me and the interpretation they give me is like they come through in light form, and they're lighting the meaning. Okay, so I trust in what I sense when I'm receiving, when they're passing through me. So speaking of love, love is eternal. Eternal love, pure love, unconditional love from God is eternal. In love, the purest form comes from above, unconditional. Whether it's man or woman that's passing through, one or the other, both are human. Whether they're gay or not, whether they're lesbians or not, whether they're bisexual or not, whether they're transgender or not, one to another, if they're in love of the heart, true pure love for each other, then they are one with the Father. The Father never apart. And there's surely more a part of the Father than somebody who does not believe in God, no matter what their gender denomination is. People see with eyes wide shut. I've heard this many times. People see their eyes open up, but nothing's registering. They're just seeing everything black and white or two-dimensional, three-dimensional, not really seeing the truth that's out there. People see with eyes wide shut, unable to love, but harbor deepest cut. They're unable to love because of that. They hang on to the deepest cut, this bitterness, pain that's inside them, which festers and becomes hatred, anger. Share with those whom you doth love the deepest part of you from above. So share with those whom you doth love. Whether they love you in return or not, the exact amount or not, that love you feel for somebody, if it's true and it's pure, unconditional, it's from God, and you're supposed to share it, irregardless of what it comes back to, because it's pure love. Unconditional love is selfless. It's not conditional upon what the other person feels for you. So share it. It says, I'm just want to share that with you. I don't expect you to feel the same way. It's regardless, it's how I feel for you. Share that. That's unconditional. I don't share it. I'm going to share my love with you if you give your love back to me. That's not unconditional love. Therefore, it's not from God. It's the deepest part of you, which comes from above, through your heart. Surely not. It's the path of hate. Time runs out. Correction too late. So surely not. You seek the path of hate. Why would you? Some people do. However, time runs out. Correction too late. So the time runs out. It's too late to correct how you are. Correct the hate, get rid of the hate, and feel the pure love that flows from God. Time runs out. You need to do it. You need to do it now. Anybody who's not, it's going to be too late. They'll be consumed, continue to be consumed by darkness. It grows and overwhelms them. Passage of time, 'tis but a blink. Little there is for you to think. The passage of time goes by quickly. Again, it's a mortal thing, an earthbound thing, human thing, not spiritual. Passage of time, 'tis but a blink to God. Little there is for you to think. We complicate everything. All that's in our mind. That's all that's on our plate. I remember early on in management career, somebody said this is one of these things come from, like, I don't know, it was from Stephen Covey's 7 Ways of Successful Management or whatever, one of those things or seminar things that somebody puts out there, which they're clueless, really. They say that there's too much on your plate, then get a bigger plate. Bullshit. Remove things from the plate. Take a look at what's on your plate and say, do I really need to eat this? Is this really good for me? Is this really satisfying my hunger for what I really need? So don't get a new plate. Take a look at what it is that's on your plate. Is it healthy for you? Is it something you really need to have? Little there is for you to think. Wasting it, and i.e. time, wasting it, 'tis a fretful thing. Nothing good does it bring. So wasting time is a fretful thing, causes anxiety. You start to get behind on things. Nothing good does it bring. Do all things in accordance with God's will to be in concordance. So again, ask him, what can I do for you this day, Lord? I want what you want. I developed a mantra years ago. I want what you want, Lord. I want what you want. And help me to accept what it is you want, accept your will. And it's hard at first, but then it gets easier, and it gets easier. You have to take that first step. Again, how do you climb a mountain? One step at a time. And faith can move mountains. If you believe and have faith in God and trust in Him to help you climb that mountain, you will climb that mountain, go down the other side. And in that process, your steps have put that mountain behind you. Literally, realistically, in all reality, you moved that mountain under your feet. You have to trust in Him and let Him help you. Again, we're raised to be independent, do things on our own. When we first get out there, but then we have to trust in God and let Him guide us and help us, because He didn't design us to go it alone. He knows how hard it is. Okay, the next part. This is kind of like Proverbs type section here. Where there is compassion, there is joy. Where there is love, there is forgiveness. Where there is understanding, there is knowledge. Where there is peace, there is brotherhood. When you have compassion, you can have joy. Joy is going to be brought upon you, given to you. Where there is love, you have that love. It's easy to forgive and be forgiven. Know that you really are forgiven long before you committed a thought of anything wrong. Forgiveness will become back to you from others. Where there is understanding, the understanding, you have knowledge. Knowing, root word know, to know. Where there is peace, brotherhood, you're getting along with everybody. Now, the other four are the flip side. Where there is want, I want this, I want that, I need to have this. Then there is despair because you're never satisfied, you're never satiated, always wanting more. Trust me, these people have vast amounts of wealth. The more wealth they get, the more power they get, the more fit. They're never satisfied. It's never enough. Black hole. Where there is hate, there is death. Hate does not have no part in eternal life. There's death in the pit. Where there is jealousy, there is discord. Jealousy is insecurity. Therefore, you have discord. You're unsettled. You can't be happy. You can't be satisfied. You're being very selfish and insecure. Where there is lust, there is temptation. Again, lust. You hear lust is everybody's thinking sexual thing. Lust is just intense need, the hunger for something. Lust for another person, lust for power, wealth, fame, lust for objects, lust for a new car, lust for a house, lust to possess, to conquer. With that comes temptation, because darkness knows what you lust for. He's going to tempt you to try to lead you astray. So very poignant. Next section. I've tried to explain this before. It's very important. This may be the most important part of this message. Do you believe, and they're asking, do you believe because you see and feel and hear? Or do you see and feel and hear because you believe? Again, belief comes first. So faith is a belief in what is unseen, unheard, and so forth. But belief begets faith, helps it to grow stronger. And it gives birth. Then you are giving or given the knowledge or the knowing of something. Not the other way around. Don't wait to see and hear and feel and to truly believe. Many say they believe or they have faith. They don't really believe. Hence they will never will be given the knowing or the knowledge. They will never see and hear and feel to make them absolutely certain. That's not how it works. One cannot grow with eyes wide shut. Again, mentioning eyes wide shut. One cannot learn with heart closed up. And you open up your heart and the mind will follow. Then you can begin to learn what you need to learn. First, you must unlearn all that you've learned so you can begin to learn what you need to learn. Discernment comes, understanding, comes through Father alone. Only He's a perfect teacher, perfect tutor, who will teach you specifically. He does everything perfectly. Like your own personal tutor, counselor, healer, parents, on and on and on. Everything. Why would you not want to learn from the best? Well, because you can't see him or hear him or feel him? Did you say you believe in him? Believe in him. Ask him to help you to understand. Ask him to help teach you. Ask him to help heal you. Ask him to help guide you. Ask him to help lead you. Show you the way. And trust in that. And believe it. Then you will get discernment. Discernment comes through Father alone. No other method does he condone. Stop trying to learn from these evangelists, televangelists, these book writers, with all the fancy jewelry, all their fancy expensive clothes, their mansions, their expensive cars, all their money, telling you about God. And it was far from God. Again, Jesus is the measuring stick. Compare them to how Jesus lived, taught, was born, suffered, passed away, and rose again. Do they live up to it? They come anywhere near that? No. Why are they acting, placing themselves above it, better than him? No. From the Pope on down, all religions, all personages are false. And we were warned about that. Jesus is the measuring stick. Furor over things unsaid, people simple go where led. So all this furor, this fuss over things that are unsaid. People who are simple, they go where they're led. They believe, they fall for all these things with false prophets and leaders that we were warned about. Minds of hate, which is darkness now, we're talking about those who are controlled by darkness, influenced by darkness. Many times they don't even realize it. Minds of hate seek to destroy. Just look at the news out there, how much there is. They seek to destroy. Darkness uses all that its employ. It's so easily these simple-minded people fall. They go where they're led. Look at all the Trumpsters, MAGA people, extreme rightists, extreme leftists. They're so easily led. Who do you want to lead you? Somebody of this world or God, Father eternal? There's many out there, praising God, believing God, and all this. These ultra Christians, they're no different. They're still simple-minded people. They're being led by humans. Let God lead you. Let God lead you. It's unconditional love you should have for everybody else. Darkness tries to mess that up. He messes with people's minds. They're simple-minded. Be on guard for unbeknownst, too late for it to be denounced. So be on guard. He warned us, be on guard. Darkness will use everything in its employ, directly, indirectly, physically, spiritually, internally, externally. It knows what's inside you, it knows your lusts, it knows your wants, your needs, it knows your fears and doubts, all that manipulates it. So be on guard for unbeknownst to you, without even realizing it. Then it's too late for it to be denounced, to be sent out. It has full control of you. Dispirited though you may be, dispirited, disheartened, feeling down though you may be, rejoice, overwhelmed by all this out there in the world, rejoice for the coming of He who was prophesied and came before, twice before. Here remains, shall see post-war, and He is here, here remains. He has returned here, a number of years back, but He's not manifested Himself, not making Himself visible until after post-war, until this coming war. War in spirit form has been raging. It's going on around the world, different places. Dire remains the causation of man's infamous obstructions of all God's plans. So dire, bad news, doesn't look good, remains the causation of man's infamous obstructions of all God's plans. So dire still remains the causes, the effects of man's infamous obstructions of all God has planned. As darkness manipulates them and uses them. Mankind is constantly, through various attempts, obstructions, intentionally, unintentionally, at the hands, manipulations of darkness, all God's plans. It's constantly trying to, on your personal level and on a mass mankind level. Dire remains the causation of man's infamous obstructions of all God's plans. Nothing good comes of it. Nothing seen nor can be heard can stop the revelation of sacred birth. Despite all this, nothing can stop God's plans. Darkness cannot win. Darkness cannot win. Nothing seen nor can be heard. There's nothing in the physical can stop the revelation of sacred bird, Jesus, of the Christ. Next section. Jurisprudence, notwithstanding, irregardless of all this, the laws of mankind, irregardless of the laws of mankind, despite those laws of mankind that are written out there in various parts of the world, much of God man's countermanding. So jurisprudence notwithstanding, much of God, his laws, and what he wants, and what he created, man is countermanding it, destroying it, going against it, twisting it. Again, that's the darkness. Juries come and juries go. Little they see, little they know. Judges judge with equal measure. Honesty, integrity, and personal treasure. So juries come, juries go. Little they see, little they know of the truth. As they go by man's laws, not God's laws and plans. That's what you should be going by in your heart if you're a true juror. And judges, they judge with equal measure, in honesty and integrity, but also in personal treasure. So honesty, integrity up front, but in their personal treasure and their wealth they're accumulating on the side, behind closed doors. They're corrupted. Corruption seeps at every corner. One reason she, the Holy Mother, didst born her, son unto man, according to plan. So even back then, and long before and since, corruption seeps at every corner. Don't expect God's justice in a courtroom. Expect man's justice. Not the same thing. Corruption seeps at every corner. One reason she didst born her, one reason she gave birth to Jesus, Son of God, the Christ, came unto man according to plan. Dire remains the events yet to come. So dire remains the causation of man's infamous obstructions of all God's plans. Still going on. It's very dire. Bad news. Also dire remains the events yet to come. Those who believe, a decreasing sum. So those who believe this, those who believe in God, those who believe in the truth, who seek it, is a decreasing sum, a decreasing number of people. Sad. Final section. God has need of all he calls home. No more need you have to roam. So when it's your time, person stop. Time, it's their time. It's preset. Before they were conceived, or upon the time they were conceived. Those he calls home directly, he has need of them. No more need you have to roam. So don't fight it. When it's your time, don't fight it. Say, I'm ready, Lord, take me, let's go. Be on guard for darkness try to disrupt that. All lost and alone, dwelling in darkness, full of pain, anger, utter starkness. So all those he calls who's serving darkness or of darkness, they're called too. All they have to do is choose. Many are turning away from darkness because they want to go home to the light. God has need of all he calls home. No more need you have to roam. All lost and alone, dwelling in darkness, full of pain, anger, utter starkness, both in spirit form and in physical form. You don't need to suffer like that. Roam around lost and alone, dwelling in this darkness, full of this pain and anger and utter darkness. Let it go before time runs out, which is going to very soon. You are loved. Again, returning back to the love, the eternal love, the pure love of God. You are loved by he who created, your soul of which was so elated. So you were loved by he who created, God, Father in heaven. Created your soul, of which all of heaven was so elated. He was so elated. Your soul was so elated to suddenly become awoken. He knows the very core of your being. Your being. He knows your truth. Nothing hidden. All you've done, he has been seeing, because nothing's hidden. Nothing hidden, all forgiven. And this is in Psalms. This is in the Bible. Nothing hidden, all forgiven. Knows too well whom has driven you to sin against all God's creation. He knows darkness has driven you to sin. He knows how it's manipulated you. He understands that. Jesus went through all this stuff because to experience it himself, so he knows, he can relate to your humanness. He understands. Again, nothing hidden, all forgiven. He knows too well whom has driven you to sin against all God's creation. For he whose soul, he being the devil, for he whose soul is an aberration, no more need you suffer. It's like you to sin against all God's creation, for he whose soul is an aberration. And it is. It was created from a corrupt star. It basically had the devil had a creation defect. No more need you suffer in torment. Let go all, and God will circumvent darkness, guide you around it. Return to the light. 'Tis but a choice, free will choice. Again, darkness cannot make you go someplace to do something. And darkness will, and God will not. It's your free will choice, your initial choice. Then choose to let him guide you, or choose to let the other one guide you the other direction. Your choice. Return to the light is but a choice. Shed thy cloaks. Cry out in voice. And speaking to spirits out there as well. Then all heaven shall rejoice as one in praise of Christ when all is done. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Praise Jesus. Awesome, awesome message. Awesome message. So I hope that gave some meaning to you. Anybody who's watching this video. I hope everybody watches videos as I post them to help you understand better what you're reading. At least give you another perspective to think upon. So take it, let it grow inside you. Peace of Christ. God bless. Stay safe.